Whoa, hey, we're back. This is homework number 4 from ELO 1. So, homework number 4 is about solving inequalities, but first thing we need to talk about is we need to talk about how to graph an inequality. Okay? So on this homework, number 1 is asking you to graph the inequality on the number line. Okay. If you don't have this in your notes yet, you should put this in your notes right here. All right? If you have a greater than symbol or a less than symbol, then you're going to use an open dot at your number. Okay, we talked about that in our lesson, in our class lesson. So if you forgot that, you need to put that in your notes. Now, also in blue, if we have a greater than or equal to symbol or a less than or equal to symbol, it's going to be a closed dot. All right? So here we are at 3. For this question, we have x is less than 3. I have it as red because that's the less than symbol, which means we'll use an open dot at 3. And then we're going to take our tool and we're going to show less than. All right? So that would be x is less than 3. Then you would check it. Boom, correct. All right? Let's try another. So for this question, we have b is greater than -2. So we'll use a open dot at -2, and then we need to be greater than that. Okay, check it. Boom. One more. This one is x is greater than or equal to -3. So x is greater than or equal to -3. So because it's one of these symbols right here, x is greater than or equal to, we're going to use a closed dot at -3. And we need to be greater than that. Okay? So there you go. Whenever you are trying to be greater than something, you're going to go to the right on the number line. Whenever you're going to go less than, you're going to go left. All right, let's jump into solving some inequalities. So number 2. Number 2, we have -20 is greater than or equal to 2w. You guys, I want to try and stress this really a lot. Don't overwhelm yourself if you see that symbol. All you should do is you should solve like normal. So right here I would divide by 2 on both sides to solve for w. Okay, so however you would have solved it is how you should solve it when you do these questions. Now, this question right here is going to be specific for solving inequalities. So when you're solving inequalities, if you see a negative number that you need to multiply or divide by, then the sign's going to flip. We talked about that in our lesson. So this was on our notes, it was orange. Right here I'm going to multiply by -3 on both sides. These cancel. Okay? I get y is now less than -27. Okay? So that symbol flipped. Okay? The reason that it flips is because we're multiplying our inequality by a negative magnitude. So when you do that, if you take a positive number and then multiply that by a negative, that positive number is now that much smaller because it's negative. So your inequality has to flip. Okay, number 6. All right, we have 39 is greater than or equal to y over 3 plus 16. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 16 on both sides. That gives me 23 greater than or equal to y over 3. Now right here, I'm going to multiply by 3 on both sides to cancel the 3. And I get y over here and then 69 over here. Now, on this question, the inequality does not flip. Okay, why did it flip on the last one and not flip on this one? That's a question that you should be asking yourself. The reason it doesn't flip on this one is because we're multiplying by a positive 3. So we're making it that much bigger, right? When we multiply by a negative, we're changing the magnitude of that number. Okay. Number 8. Okay. So not every question is sunshine and rainbows, right? So sometimes we get one that looks pretty confusing. I want to talk about these. So if you get a question like this with solving inequalities, okay, you should revert back to what you always do when you solve equations. So right here, we would use the distributive property. So if you forgot how to do this, you need to go back and watch the solving equations video. All right? That's 9u minus 33 is greater than negative 12 plus 16u. The reason we got negative 12 plus 16u is because we're multiplying by negative 4 with both terms on the inside. All right. So now, just to show you guys that you can do in any order, you can do this in any order, I want to move all of my u's to one side. So I'm going to go minus 16u on both sides. That's going to be negative 7u minus 33 is greater than negative 12. So now I'm going to add 33 on both sides. Okay? Move this up here. Okay, that cancels. I get negative 7u is greater than 21. So now I will take my orange pen and divide by negative 7. When I divide by a negative, I'm going to get u is now less than. So my inequality is going to flip in orange. Negative 3. So for this one, it flipped. Okay. If you're getting a bunch of these questions wrong, it's because you're not paying attention to the sign. You're not paying attention to the inequality. All right? So you have to pay attention to when it flips and when it doesn't flip. The only time it flips is when you divide or multiply by a negative. All right. The rest of them are very similar to all those. If you need extra help, please email me. And that's it. Thanks, guys.